do you prefer to save money or spend money? For me, for sure, definitely, I prefer to spend money. I think spending money on something that I like can bring me a lot of happiness. And the feeling of owning and possessing something can make me feel secure and safe, if that makes sense. And saving money or like managing my money can be very difficult for me. And plus, I don't have that much money to manage, to be honest. So for sure, I prefer spending money. And the next question is, how do you save money? As I've mentioned, it's hard for me to save it. So I think the best way is to force myself to save it. For example, by investing my money into the fixed assets, so that I need to, pay off the loans during a fixed period of time, and that can force me to save my money regularly. So that's probably the best way. And the next question is, what do you think about payment apps or mobile payment? It really brings people much convenience, to be honest, and especially in China, this kind of online payment has gradually become popular. And seldom can you see people using cash to purchase something nowadays. So it brings a lot of benefits to our life. But on the other hand, I have to say, compared with online payment, spending the cash when you purchase things can really give you this feeling of actually spending money. And that can in turn prevent you from spending that much, I guess. That's probably the only disadvantage. So in general, it brings us a lot of convenience. And the next question is, do you use a credit card to buy things? I, to be honest, seldom use credit cards, but if there is a discount offered if you use the credit card, or if it's something important or expensive, then I guess I would use the credit card to purchase it. I have to say, credit card is one of the safer payment options nowadays thanks to the fraud protections included in it. So you don't need to be responsible for those unauthorized charges if your card is stolen or lost. So that's why I guess sometimes I would use it. And the last question is, do you think cash will still be popular in the future? I have to say no, not really. You see, in China, there are few people using cash to buy something nowadays, and gradually I believe online payment can replace cash eventually due to its convenience and it's much safer.
Do you prefer to save money or spend money?
Well, I'd say I'm somewhere in between. I like saving money for the future, but I also believe in treating myself occasionally. It's all about finding a balance. For big expenses, I often weigh the value it adds to my life, ensuring it's worth the investment, and then I'm more comfortable spending.
How do you save money?
One way I save money is by setting a budget. I usually make a list of my expenses and try my best to stick to it. Also, I look for discounts and try to avoid impulse purchases. It's surprising, how those little unplanned buys can add up, so being mindful of those really helps me to stay on track financially.
What do you think about payment apps or mobile payments?
Payment apps are a game changer for me. They make transactions so convenient, and it's great not having to carry around a wallet full of cash. I'm all for the simplicity they bring to daily life. Plus, the added security features make me feel more at ease when making purchases, knowing my financial information is protected.
Do you use a credit card to buy things?
Yes, I do use a credit card, but I'm mindful of not overspending. I find it helpful for building credit and sometimes taking advantage of rewards programs. It's like a tool for responsible spending and financial planning. I make sure to pay off the balance each month to avoid accumulating debt and interest.
Do you think cash will still be popular in the future?
While digital payments are on the rise, I still think cash will have its place. It's handy in certain situations, especially with small transactions or in areas where electronic payments may not be as common. Having some cash on hand gives a sense of security, just in case of, unforeseen circumstances or places that might not accept cards or digital payments.
you prefer to save money or spend money? Sure thing, I'm all about saving money, because it's like having a financial safety net. It sets me up for future plans and stuff. But hey, don't get me wrong, I do treat myself every now and then from time to time, especially if it's something that really brings me joy or adds value to my life. Number two, how do you save money? So saving money is kind of my jam. What I do is every month I tuck away about 20 to 30% of my paycheck or salary into the saving account I've got going. It's a neat way to keep things organized, and over time it's like building up a little money stash for raining days or maybe some cool future plans. Number three, what do you think about payment apps or mobile payments? Oh, those payment apps are super handy, quick transactions and all, and there's always a but. You have to watch out for those security bits. I mean, who want their personal information floating around the digital space, right? Question 4. Do you use credit card to buy things? Yeah, credit cards are my go-to. They're just so convenient. Swipe here, swipe there, done. Plus, there's this cool thing called the time value of money. Basically, I get to hold on to my cash a bit longer and keeping track of where my money's going. Easy peasy with those monthly statements. Last question, do you think cash will still be popular in the future? Well, that's a bit of a mixed bag. I guess it depends on the area you're living in. For countries like China, where people are so used to mobile payment, it may not get popular. But for areas without the tech support and where people haven't developed this kind of habit to use mobile payment, cash may still be popular.
Prefer saving money or spending money? Well, to me, I lean more towards saving money because I think it's essential to be financially secure and prepared for any unexpected expenses. That being said, I also think it's essential to enjoy life and treat yourself from now and then. While I do try to save a significant portion of my earnings, I also allocate some budget for leisure activities, traveling, or buying things that make me happy. So I think it's all about finding a balance between saving for the future and enjoying the present. The second question is, how do you save money? Well, I do have a few strategies for saving money. For example, I try to stick to a budget by keeping track of my expenses and setting limits on certain categories like dining out or shopping. And also, I try to prevent impulse buying. So I typically give myself a cooling off period. If I think it's still necessary after a few days, I would then consider buying it. And the third necessary method for me is to automatically transferring a portion of my incomes into a savings account each month. This way ensures I'm consistently saving without having to think about it too much.